say to a point too, right? Now, yes, they didn't write it all out, but you can teach it orally or write it out. See, what's written is for the oral teaching. You're forgetting that, Catholics and Jews. Both of you are arguing about it. Whether we're the sons of the devil literally or not. Though it's no different than being the son of Darth Vader after he went evil. You think the devil started out bad or good? Good. And he became evil. We became as one of them to know good and evil. And you know who that was. You know who that was. You just want to deny it now. You're fighting. Okay. Really, who's more of the child of the devil? The Jews or the Christians now. Or the Muslims, right? Because you're fighting in God's name. Wait a minute now. If God is love, mercy, and forgiveness, how is any of that related to God and not Satan only? Right. God don't want you killing nobody in his name. God wants you to even forgive the word Nigger if it's used offensively, right? Because the person using it wasn't taught better than that yet. And you can't re-educate someone who's been brought up that way. It ain't your job. It ain't going to work. See, what they'll do then is say it in their yard. Anyway. You think you're going to stop them from saying it in front of you and they're not going to just say it behind your back? That don't alleviate the racism. No. It might make it worse. They'll still call you one behind your back. You know, it's the thought of the word that you got to eliminate. Not just the usage. And see, I don't use the word that way. I'll say more my N word. Like they do. Because I'm a little black. I get it, though. I was persecuted for being straight. Or growing up. I don't know. They couldn't handle it. I guess. Now, I'm kind of hanging out with my friends because they're my transportation to date women, but I'm dating women too, right? Y'all know that. I'm picking up girls at the river. Take me to the river. Drop me in the water. Anyway, quote, unquote. Quote, unquote. Of Talking Heads. I don't know what album was on and all that. Okay. Right. I know. It's okay. That sure is the point. Though even Billy Joel gets it. Right. In the middle of the night. Anyway. To the river of truth. To the river so deep. But that's the problem. See, in Georgia, talent matters, right? For you to be part of a choir or anything, right? If it don't matter in Hollywood, right? All I can do is demonstrate my ability to really impersonate you. I'm not trying to step on your toes. But the ones making you fraudulent ain't you, is it? No, it's your record label. It's your record label. I don't blame you for being caught up in the money-making scheme they're doing. That's what it is. Now, they do have interns, right? You know they work for free, right? You ever wonder why you're getting billions of hits and I'm not getting any? The interns. Like we don't know that either. No one was born yesterday. The interns got to do something for the record company or the record label or the record station. Right? Yeah, I know. Well, someone's liking it. Someone's buying it. It ain't me and the poor. You still are making less than 500 copies per sale. That's not even 1% of the population. That's not. The population is 300 million. 1% would be 3 million. That would be something. I know, right? But if the only one buying are 500,000 people, right, to get a gold record anyway, right? That's all who has to buy too, right? Right. That becomes a Ponzi scheme worse than being paid to play the record as well. Mm-hmm. See, if you're buying your own product or having an intern to buy it, that's fraud too. That's fraud too. That's called doctoring your numbers and making it look like you're making a sale even if you're not, right? Now, I ain't seen, there ain't a few thousand buying it for real either. But the numbers don't make sense. I know they don't. Not if it's really selling worldwide, And then you want to blame who, right? Pirates? No. Trust me, they make less money than you. No, right? For real. See, it's really harder to sell that shit, than you think. Plus, you're offering it free on the radio. Most people, if they're hearing your music, they're hearing it on the radio. No. And that's why none of this makes sense, right? It can't. It can't. Your kingdom cannot stand if it's built on a fraud, right? It will fall eventually. Someone's going to catch on one day and you're going to be in bigger trouble than you thought you should be in, right? Unless someone can really do it, and that shouldn't be just one person, only me, only you. There's got to be other real people who can do it besides me too, right? But you're not bringing the real talent, okay? Mm-hmm. You're bringing the buried talent, right? Those who can lip sync well and look like they're singing. Or if they are singing, you done hook the machine up to the microphone to make them sound better, but they can't sing in unison with themselves. Now, there's two ways to sing a song. One is you sing it exactly like you hear it on the radio. The other is you freestyle it because you're not really singing the song. A machine is doing the notes for you, right? Live. The difference is, though, you never sound the same. Only someone who can sing in unison with other people, though, like in a choir, like me, right, can match you, right? Then. But then why is the country trillions of dollars in debt? Who does not value our product so much, that we're in debt instead of where we should be, If your movies are selling and your records are selling to real people, even an intern, if they don't make no money, is a real person, though, right? Though, how do they get the money to buy the record, right? Well, that's what a fraud is. If the record label, or the record company, or the record, or the radio station that plays the record for the record company, plays it, right? Who is them buying it, right? The interns, right? You gotta ask these questions, right? If something's going on, but it's not getting bigger or smaller, right? It's kind of staying the same, right? Too. And all they need for a gold record is to sell 500,000 copies, right? But who are they selling it to? They don't tell you all that. Who's buying their albums? Because both of us want to listen to it for free on the radio anyway. We ain't worried about all that. Now, if it's an album you really, really like, you can do that with a few albums, right? Like I said, I had Hall & Oates growing up. I had, right? But I can sing Hall & Oates like Hall & Oates on the record, can they? That's where the question comes in. How far are they going with auto-tune, right? And you're making me like a freaking news reporter, right, with it. Is this the great American scam that's going to destroy the country from within because of your Hoover's greed, right? I hate to say it, but Hoover's the one who made copyright on music so tough anyway, Not the law of copyright itself, right? And you're trying to distinguish music like it's different than poems, right? Which is not, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Right. If something's a scheme, right, and yet most, even if you make 1,000,000, right, sales, who's buying it? I know. Most people are struggling paycheck to paycheck anyway. They ain't worried about it. They get to listen to any song they want to of yours on the radio for free. Now they're coming with satellite and XM and all that and Sirius, right? Well, there's a problem with that too, right? Most people can't buy a radio. Now I'm buying a little bit of TV, right? Just to watch something. Exactly. Or there's nothing I can watch, right? Though AT&T wants me to pay him $490 something again for having to cancel. Because again, right, everything's getting more expensive now, right? Well, it'll be a while before they get that kind of money. Right. I ain't got it. And you won't let me sue people, it seems. You're on and on about that. I can't sue people if I get injured again, right? That's not a new injury in a different part of the body that wasn't injured. See, that's what's so weird about my injury. It looks like the ankle got it pretty bad. The sacrum pelvis got it pretty bad, but for that to happen to both, there's something in the middle there. The knee. The knee wasn't damaged to the accident in the company anyway. And then it went back into place. Really? See, I'm not mad about it. And that's the point. I know. But what part of the store would it be in? The slippery part, right? Where they have their soaps, right? Again, right? It can be like that in any store too, right? And what makes the problem is they're acting big and bad, right? You call around to different lawyers and they don't seem to want to take your case, right? You're even trying to blackball me with a legitimate case. Well, if I could make $890 a month, surely $5,000 once in a while don't hurt. Well, that's the point about making it, right? See, if you're awarded a settlement that has nothing to do with true income, right? That you get if you can work a full-time job. I can barely work doing the externship, right? Which you're helping me. No, idiot. You're still proving I'm disabled from whatever happened to me in the Navy. No. You know that, right? This didn't happen before. And I was able to work at Rogerwood until I joined the Navy, right? And I held down that job pretty good. They didn't fire me or anything, right? And they knew I was going into the Navy, right? We left on good terms. Just when I come back, I couldn't do the job anymore, right? I tried to work for them again, but I couldn't. No. But what changed? Three-story fall. The three-story fall wasn't even the schizophrenia. No, that's the problem. No, it's not. And I never said it was. No. They're making me sign this to get out of the damn hospital. So I'm saying, okay. No. But I also did a rebuttal. Right. If it happened, it wasn't before I entered into the military. Right. You can't use a dream or a wreck or me healing of it in 2 days and not knowing what happened and blacked out the whole time. Right. Against me if I don't remember anything. Right. And then for the first 2 weeks, I don't remember anything. Right. Then 11 years, someone starts accusing me on YouTube. Right. Well, that's what I mean. If no one's talking about it up till when I get on YouTube, do you think my ex-wife would expose her own mother there, right, if she's the one who raised the child? Or do you think maybe someone wanting to get dirt on them would? But wasn't there, or me, or you even. See, when someone wants dirt on you, right, they'll accuse you, Daphne, when you can't prove anything, right? See, you can't prove this 11 years after, or 15 years, or 20 years, or 26 years after, right? Though that's why you got to deal with something if it happens like that right away, like I said, right? So I watch SVU a lot. No. Even before I said I could have molested her, but did not. Didn't. Right? Didn't. Is all I needed to say, right? I didn't say I actually molested my stepdaughter. Right. No, I said I could have molested her because her mom was there, but I did not, right? Because her mom was there. You're not going to do it then. No one would do it then. No one would do it. Now, I'm not saying something weird couldn't happen and she couldn't wander in there in the middle of the night and I have to bring her back to her mom, but even that would be what? I could handle that, right? Why? Because I helped raise my sister, right? But I probably told them that too. You understand, right? If they're trying to accuse me, first I'm going to bait them and say, what, I licked her one time? Right? You know what I mean? So, like her mom? Will I eat out? No. See, these are yes or no questions, right? Okay, a lawyer will ask you. No. Though I'm not a lawyer, though I watch them on TV. And that's about the best I can do is look up the information online, like I said, play one on TV. Right? But is that all there is to it? Or my cousin meeting, like I said, right? I know. It's to make them back off, family, right? That's why I'm trying to sue them. Money talks, right? Bull crap balls, right? But I don't know why Daphne would do that because it would expose her mother who raised her daughter that she let that happen. You see what I mean? Right. She let it happen, right? Not me, not you. I can't let it happen. I have to try and stop that shit if it happens around me, right? In other words. Alright, so there's no way, right, without entrapping someone else, alright, Daphne can entrap me either. Because, see, it's not on me, right? If her daughter comes in there in the middle of the night, who is that on? The mom? Right. First. See, she's got to make sure she don't wander in there to me by herself, right? Right. She, even if her daughter's got to go to the bathroom, should do what? Escort her to the bathroom. That's what I would do. My husband's schizophrenic and he's sleeping on the couch. I'm going to escort her to the bathroom door, so that if he wakes up, he sees me in there with her, knowing she's going to the bathroom. Right. And just as if she wakes up, me up somehow, right? If she's in there with me, okay, and she's trying to wake me up, right, and say her crotch is in my face, kind of, I'm going to assume that even there she needs help going to the bathroom, right? Now, if she's in there alone and I don't see Daphne, and she's by the bathroom door, you can assume the same thing if you help potty train your sister, right? See Daphne, right? Or you're watching your mom do it, whatever, it don't matter, it don't matter. Because, see, I'm also around my sister till she's at least in the second or third grade herself, right? And then I go into the Navy, right? But right. But Renee, if you, again, pop down on your knee to break it, you break it, your shin again, right? You did it despite the teacher, though. Yes, you did. You knew it would break. The way you landed on it made it break. You did it despite the teacher. No, you did. That's on you. The first one, I was jumping backwards and you were running up behind me and I couldn't stop the landing, right? And I landed on your shin, right? But see, it wasn't an attack because the attack is to the thigh bone if you're a ninja. Not the shin. But if you're jumping backwards and it's the degree break of the shin, I'm jumping backwards and couldn't stop, right? Told you that too, right? And that's after the car wreck when I'm more, not myself, but kind of confused by it all. I'm only in the hospital 2 days, sister. Do you understand? I'm bewildered. I'm reeling, and I'm healing like Wolverine, right? Right. And like the Wolverine, I'm a little confused, right? Yeah, yeah. If you're in the hospital 2 days after a blackout car wreck, you know something's looking out for you. You know something weird is going on. And you know no one's wanting to talk about it, so you don't either. You don't either. Not immediately. Until you fall 3 stories on base, and then you gotta figure out what the hell's going on there too, right? Because you're still getting up like the paralytic man lowered into the roof and the guy near the pool. You've heard the stories. And the guy who fell from the 3rd loft window. You're exactly like him, maybe. He died. No, he died. Uh-oh. Plot thickens, huh? I know. But see, I'm having to either jump, right, to get down from the window ledge, right? And there's 2 ways I can do that. Since I trained in jiu-jitsu for real, too, right? And I'm jumping off the trailer, too, right? But this is before the wreck. I know it is. Yeah. But I remember it, right? What else can I say, right? And that's the point. I wouldn't do that again either if that led to not breaking my sister's leg, right? But I also told our parents when we got home what happened, right? Didn't even bat an eye, I know. Because it's like the cherry tree, right? And George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. You know, if you're the only one in the damn woods anyway, you chop down the cherry tree on your own land. Of course your dad knows you did it. But he's seen if you're going to be honest about it, right? Now, when Mom and Big Daddy got home, I told them what happened. I was jumping backwards. I think I'm doing Renee's leg. I think she needs to go to the hospital, right? And that's all I could do about it. I didn't think to call the ambulance, but like I said, we're out in Effingham anyway. By the time we got there, it'd probably be quicker to take her directly when they got home. And because it probably happened more towards the time they would get to him anyway. And I would never intentionally hurt Renee, ever. She's my sister, you know. But I can't do it outside if she's 4 and she don't quite understand it either. But there again, I tried to change how I raised her too. I quit being, I don't know, a babysitter. Started doing Labyrinth and watching movies with her, even R-rated, but again, it's freaking mom out a little bit. But it's not to hurt the child, it's to try and teach her, fact from fiction. Some of these shows are just movies, right? And hopefully it can never really happen, right? But some of it can really happen. What we fear the most, like he said, is nuclear warheads, right? Because, see, you have to believe no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Or even a spear can kill you. Right? Now, they say what would have really killed Jesus ain't the nails in the cross. No. Ain't even the 39 stripes save one, right? Or 40 stripes save one, right? Which is the typical flogging. The real thing that kills you on the cross is suffocation from lack of being able to breathe. See, you're supposed to be hung on the cross for days, right? But with all that combined, killing quicker because he couldn't breathe, because every time he tried to pull up, his back would be in excruciating pain. And he could only lift up for about 6 hours, and then he collapsed and his lungs filled up with water. Which is why when the soldier pierced him with this spear of destiny, out came water and blood. That's someone who suffocated in their own what? Suffocation, right? Suffocation is where your lungs fill up with water anyway. Right? Except you're not in this lake by the sea, right? The Sea of Galilee, right? Well, all I'm saying by saying it could be a sandbar is to bring it the point home, right? With Jesus walking on the water, something would have to support his weight, or he was lighter than the water. Do you understand? There's two things that could do that. They could be a sandbar, which I'm not saying God couldn't bring the sand up to Jesus' feet, right? Okay? But see all this here? That's a sandbar, right? You see it right there? And it's near. Right. I'll show you again because it'll come up again. Right. A sandbar, you can even see one sometimes. Peter. Because you want to play Satan to the Jews and Gentiles of our age, don't you? Right. Because one man is trying to stand in the gap with Jesus, and you're still against Jesus. You know that, right? You're the first Antichrist if you're denying half the message, Peter. You're lukewarm. Who do you think he's talking to? Me or you? Who left their first love, Peter? You or me? You or me. And we know you're a sinful man. No. You admitted it to the Lord, but you still won't fully repent, will you? I'm sure you're not affecting the Roman who could have raped him, right? I'm sure you're not affecting why the Jews don't believe or understand all this either, right? Or the Christians, right? And who the hell is Santa Claus they're mentioning anyway? He knows when you are sleeping. He knows if you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Well, that's the point. True goodness includes one thing, Peter. Right. You forgot forgiveness. Even Don Henley knows. I got the call today, he says. I didn't want to hear, but I knew that it would come. Old friend of ours called me on the phone. They said you found someone. If you're 2,000 years old, right? Even if these morons don't understand, I do. And I don't know who particularly you are. And I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for Jesus' return too, right? But you gotta have me before John said Christ can return. You're not necessary if you're denying the truth. I'm the one standing in the gap for Jesus. Because I know the testimony of Jesus Christ is the beginning of prophecy. And the end. And the end. You don't get it. You're wanting to seal it like the Jews before you. And the Jews after you. And then Constantine, right? Made it so orthodox. He made a trinity of males. And you let him. Okay, I'm here now. I'm doing my job. Are you going to go back to doing your true job? At least what you left behind gives me enough room to stand on, right? But it can't forever, right? Get it or don't.